Morning, welcome to the second day of the Autosport International Show. We're here again. This time we've got a special mission. We're going to be looking for any Formula E merchandise. Like, there's tons of merchandise stores around the Autosport International Show, but will we see any Formula E merchandise? Obviously there's the fan shop, okay, in the Formula E exhibit, but there wasn't really much there yesterday. So I'm looking to see if we can find any specific Formula E merchandise. Okay, so I've walked back into the show and let's see what merchandise we can find. To be honest with you, I don't really know what to expect. I'm hoping we can find some team merchandise in terms of t-shirts, maybe shirts, maybe some jackets, definitely some team caps. You know, there's also lots of die-cast race models out there. So I'm really hopeful that we can maybe find a die-cast race model of a Formula E car. There's also some helmets out there, so I doubt we'll see any Formula E helmets. They're normally filled to the brim with Formula 1 style helmets. So it'd be interesting to see what we can find. So fingers crossed we can actually find some Formula E merchandise. Okay, so and hold on, well, to my surprise, I can see Nelson Piquet Jr.'s Jaguar helmet, but it seems I can't buy it as part of one. I have to also buy his dad's and get it in a set. I wonder if they do a deal and maybe just let me buy the first one. That is absolutely extraordinary. I was not expecting to see a Formula E helmet in here. And that's the first bit of merchandise that we've seen today. I'll tell you what, I'm really surprised to actually have seen a Formula E helmet in those helmet collections. And that was literally the first sort of merchandise stand that I went to, because it was the first one when I walked up the stairs. And lo and behold, there's a bit of Formula E merchandise, which I was not expecting whatsoever. So hopefully we can find some more. Okay, literally just round the corner from where the helmets are, I've spotted some other Formula E merchandise. We have, I'll just try and position it, we've got a Jaguar Formula E coat. Sorry, well, there's the big Jaguar sign, Jaguar, and they are selling it, I think they are selling, well, that said 50 quid, but there is a sign here, it said fleece jackets. Now, I don't think that's a fleece jacket, but it says £15, which for a coat like this, if this is £15, oh, we've also got some Jaguar Racing t-shirts as well, so that's really cool. So only Jaguar Racing, no other team here, but yeah, that's a quite surprise. I'm so surprised how quickly we've managed to stumble on some Formula E merchandise. I spoke to the lady who was selling the jacket. It was actually 50 quid rather than the £15 which the sign said, but I didn't really argue it because the jacket was an extra small and it was the last one they had, and I'm a small, so it didn't really fit me, so you never know. But anyway, I'm just surprised, actually, thinking about it. I'm just surprised how quickly we were able to find Nelson Piquet Jr.'s helmet, as well as a Jaguar jacket and Jaguar t-shirt at the same time. I thought this would actually be really difficult finding Formula E merchandise, but maybe we found too many too soon in our search, and maybe we might have a dry spell now, so I'll keep looking and see what I can find. Again, there seems to be just loads of Jaguar Racing merchandise in terms of clothes. No hats though, which I find interesting, but clothes, jackets, shirts this time, and a body warmer. So yeah, surprising that there's no other teams, but because there are other team merchandise out. Audi, you can get something, you can definitely get something from Tech Cheetah. So there are other sort of motorsport merchandise, Formula E merchandise out there, but it just seems that the Autosport vendors have obviously chosen Jaguar. Okay, there seems to be a bit of an obsession about Nelson Piquet Jr. First we find his helmet, then we find Jaguar jackets and Jaguar t-shirts, and now we've spotted Nelson Piquet Jr.'s Formula E car from season 4. Like, I can't go in them. This is as close as I can get. It's in the VIP section, so they wouldn't allow me in. But it's amazing to see how much Jaguar related stuff there is here. Obviously Jaguar is such a big brand, so it's quite iconic, so a lot of people will recognize it, which I suppose is what's drawing the attention to it. But I haven't seen any other Formula E teams yet, so I think what we should do now is try and go on a hunt for a different Formula E team. Okay, I've come to my first sort of die-cast model shop, and I can't really seem to see. I see a lot of Ferraris, loads of other different types of cars, but I haven't come across any Formula E cars yet, so I'll keep looking. Again, I've come across another die-cast model shop, but it just doesn't seem to be any sign of any Formula E cars anywhere, which is, you know, a bit of a shame. It's just all very nice classic cars, classic Le Mans cars, classic sports cars. I've got some classic F1 cars down there. There's some lovely cars to look at, but no Formula E cars, which is such a shame really. But anyway, we'll keep searching and see if we find one. Okay, I think I'm going to give up on looking for the die-cast race models. It's just filled with World Endurance Championship cars, Formula 1 obviously, and the Rally, and normal general sports cars. So I'm just going to give up. I've looked at like 3 or 4 now, like little die-cast model shops. It's a shame there's no Formula E cars there, because you can get them on the official Formula E shop. There's the Tech Cheetah. There's loads out there. There's loads of Mahindras. There's loads. If you go online, you'll find tons and tons and tons of Formula E die-cast models. But there's just none here. There's just absolutely none here, which is a shame really, but I suppose we move on. Like I kept looking and looking and looking, but there was just absolutely nothing. So I'm going to try and focus on finding some specific Formula E caps and just see if there's any other generic, maybe some generic Formula E photos that are signed, something like that. See if anything like that is available. Okay, I found some generic Audi caps, but I don't really think that sort of counts as Formula E merchandise, but it's the first sort of other team that are actually in Formula E that I've seen. But I'll keep looking. There's a BMW on there, but again, very just BMW. I suppose it works. You could have a Jaguar one there, but it's again just a Jaguar one. It's not really related to Formula E in any way. But anyway, I'll keep looking. Again, some generic Porsche motorsport stuff. Again, you could say that this is what they would wear in Formula E, but maybe it'd just be specific Formula E branding. But if you know, I think that could sort of count. It is a Porsche sort of shop, so I suppose that would be counted as Formula E merchandise. But it's, as I said, it's nothing too specific for Formula E. It just all says Porsche Motorsport, so not too bad, I guess. I reckon this could pass. I reckon if you bought this, you could say, oh yeah, because I like the Porsche Formula E team. Now this is something I'm sure so many people would love to have in their houses. They just look so amazing. They're like they're massive models of Formula 1 cars, obviously. A shame no Formula E, but maybe in the future. But man, even looking at these now, like I would love to have one of these in my house at some point. So I've just come from the place where there was those model cars which I said you could love to put on your mantelpiece, and a kid went up to the guy and said, there was one missing, and he said, you know, what one was missing? He said it was a 2014 Lewis Hamilton one, and the kid asked, how much did it sell for? £2,400, and that was like the little Mercedes one that we saw in the Ferrari one. So for £2,400, I don't even want to ask how much that Red Bull car was. That's what I mean. They're so expensive. They're great things to have, and having those in your house would be amazing, and to show off and say, look what I've got. But at the same time, man, that is a lot of money to shed out on a model car. So maybe I need to win the lottery at some point, and maybe I can buy my own.
Mahindra racing driver Pascal Wehrlein showed he meant business in his first season in Formula E.
Okay, also on my journey, I'm looking out for this Mahindra car. Now I've got on my phone right here the tweet that Mahindra sent, and so you can see it there. They say they're at the Autosport International show, and there is the car. Now, they say that it is at E686. That's where the exhibit is, that's where the car is. But I'm literally around this section now, and I cannot spot the Mahindra car for the life of me. I just don't know where it is. And even the signs in the picture that are there, there's like a bell. I can't see that either. I really don't know where this car is. I'm actually quite disappointed I couldn't find the Mahindra car. Like, I've been walking around. I feel like I'm getting blisters now in the back of my feet of how much I've been looking around looking for that Mahindra car. But if we've missed it, we've missed it. But I feel that's something Formula E could have maybe have done. You're looking at the F1 racing music. They've got all the Formula 1 cars, and obviously that drags such big attention. So I know maybe Formula E can't have that much space allocated to it, but maybe a few more model actual show cars from maybe Audi or even the Jaguar Gen 2 car, because we saw so much Jaguar today. Why not a Jaguar Gen 2 car? There was a Jaguar Gen 1, so maybe a Jaguar Gen 2 could have been, you know, something really cool to see. Mercedes, Porsche, you've got 2 brand new teams in the series, but they weren't here. You weren't showcasing, and Mercedes and Porsche were here. So I still think there's a lot to learn, and maybe show cars could be a way forward in order to improve Formula E at these exhibits. So I've come back to the Formula E exhibit to sort of wrap up the video. And what I think I can take away of it merchandise is that I think there should have been Formula E merchandise here, like specific to teams. Formula E have got their own shop online, but they didn't bring any of that here. They've got die-cast models, they've got teamwear. They should have brought some of that stock here, I think, and sold it here, because at least there was a specific place where people could have come to actually buy Formula E merchandise. Because you saw, like, all we saw really was Jaguar racing stuff. There was no other team. Maybe you can say there was those Porsche t-shirts, and maybe you can say there was those Audi hats and that BMW hat, but really and truly they weren't specific to Formula E. So therefore I really think this was a missed opportunity, and there should have been some more merchandise rather than just the fan store of generic Formula E merchandise and London E-Prix stuff. So hopefully, you know, next time they're here they will bring more specific merchandise with them. But all I can say is thank you so much for joining me on these journeys. I've really enjoyed these vlogs. If you've got any feedback that you'd like to give of what you'd like to see, because I'd love to carry on these going into Formula E races, so you can actually get like a behind the scenes look of what a Formula E race is like. So please remember to like and subscribe. I was going to say favorite, but you can't favorite on YouTube. But yeah, like and subscribe. That really helps us grow the channel and obviously reach these types of videos to more people. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.